There are filmmakers whose movies entertain us, filmmakers whose movies inspire us, and then there are filmmakers whose movies haunt us. I'm Ryan, and today we're exploring one of the most enigmatic filmmakers of all time, Stanley Kubrick. This is The Director's Way. A film is, or should be, more like music than like fiction. It should be a progression of moods and feelings, the theme, what's behind the emotion, the meaning, all that comes later. Stanley Kubrick. Stanley Kubrick's films don't feel like ordinary movies. They feel calculated, cold, dreamlike, disturbingly intelligent. His characters wander through impossible spaces, endless hotel corridors, war zones, ballrooms, spacecraft drifting through the infinite darkness. And somehow, despite being made decades ago, his films still feel strangely modern. People have spent years trying to decode Kubrick's work. Was he a perfectionist? A genius? A pessimist? A prophet? Maybe all of them. But beneath the technical brilliance, beneath the iconic imagery, beneath the unsettling atmosphere, there is something deeper connecting all of his films. Stanley Kubrick was obsessed with systems. Systems of war, systems of power, systems of violence, systems of technology, systems that shape human behavior until people barely resemble themselves anymore. Again and again, Kubrick asked the same terrifying question. What happens to humanity when the systems we create begin controlling us? Kubrick's early films already reveal the obsessions that would define the rest of his career. Even before he became Stanley Kubrick, the legendary director, the perfectionist, the myth, he was fascinated by control. Kubrick began as a photographer for Look magazine, and you can feel that background in every frame he ever shot. His films are composed with mathematical precision. Characters often appear trapped inside the frame itself, like pieces on a chessboard. And that comparison is fitting because Kubrick was an avid chess player. Chess is a game of systems, logic, calculation, and sacrifice. And Kubrick approached filmmaking the same way. In The Killing, Kubrick transforms a simple noir crime story into something almost mechanical. Every character is part of a larger design. Every action triggers another. Human beings become components inside a machine. And the idea would follow Kubrick for the rest of his career. Individuals struggling against systems too large to stop. If there is one thing Kubrick understood deeply, it was the madness of institutions. Paths of Glory is one of the greatest anti-war films ever made. Not because it glorifies heroism, but because it exposes the cruelty hiding behind authority. The soldiers are trapped, not just physically, but psychologically. The real enemy isn't the opposing army, it's the system itself. Kubrick's famous tracking shots make the trenches feel endless, like a machine consuming human beings. In Spartacus, a film Kubrick famously had less creative control over, his themes still managed to emerge. Power struggles, oppression, individuals crushed beneath empires. Then came Lolita, one of Kubrick's most uncomfortable films. Kubrick wasn't interested in romance, he was interested in obsession, delusion, self-deception. Many Kubrick characters believe they are in control, when in reality they are prisoners of desire. And then Kubrick made perhaps the darkest comedy ever created. Dr. Strangelove is hilarious until you realize it's about nuclear annihilation. The people responsible for ending the world are portrayed as childish, irrational, absurd. Kubrick understood something terrifying. Human civilization is often controlled by deeply flawed people pretending to be rational. And that idea still feels disturbingly relevant today. Then, in 1968, Kubrick changed cinema forever. 2001: A Space Odyssey is not simply a science fiction film, it's a film about humanity itself, and it happens to be one of my favorite films of all time. The monolith appears at pivotal moments in human evolution, almost like an outside force guiding mankind forward. But Kubrick refuses to explain it directly, because mystery is the point. Ironically, the most emotional character in the film may not be human at all. HAL 9000 is calm, intelligent, lonely, afraid of dying. Meanwhile, the human characters feel cold and mechanical. Kubrick blurs the line between humanity and technology. As civilization advances, humans become more machine-like, while machines become more human. The ending of 2001 feels almost spiritual. Death, rebirth, evolution. Kubrick presents humanity as something unfinished, a species still transforming into something unknown. And that ambiguity is what makes the film feel timeless. If 2001 explored human evolution, A Clockwork Orange explored human nature. Alex is charismatic, funny, intelligent, and horrifying. Kubrick forces the audience into an uncomfortable position. We are entertained by the violence, even as we condemn it. The central question of the film is not whether Alex is evil, it's whether removing free will makes someone truly human. Kubrick believed civilization often tries to control human behavior through conditioning. But if humanity loses the ability to choose, even the choice to do evil, what remains afterwards? Then came Barry Lyndon, perhaps the most visually beautiful film Kubrick ever made. Every frame resembles a painting, but beneath the elegance lies another story about systems. Class systems, social systems, civilizations as performance. The aristocrats of Barry Lyndon appear civilized, yet their world is still driven by greed, vanity, violence, and power. Kubrick often suggests that civilization is simply brutality hidden behind manners. The Shining. Few horror films have ever felt this unnerving, not because of jump scares, but because the film itself feels wrong. The Overlook Hotel behaves like a dream. Impossible architecture, endless hallways, rooms that seem disconnected from reality. Kubrick creates horror through the atmosphere and through psychological instability. Jack Torrance doesn't simply go insane, he is absorbed by the hotel. Once again, Kubrick shows a system consuming an individual. The Overlook becomes a machine of history, violence, and madness. In Full Metal Jacket, Kubrick returns to war. But unlike traditional war films, Kubrick focuses on dehumanization. Private Pyle begins as an individual, but military conditioning slowly destroys his identity. The soldiers are reshaped into weapons, machines programmed for violence. And by the second half of the film, the war itself feels surreal. Burning cities, ruined buildings, soldiers drifting through chaos. Kubrick understood that modern warfare transforms people into fragments of themselves. Kubrick's final film may be his most mysterious. Eyes Wide Shut feels less like reality and more like a waking dream. Scenes unfold with strange rhythm. Conversations feel unnatural. Spaces feel disconnected from time. Kubrick creates the feeling of wandering through hidden layers of society. The film is obsessed with masks, social masks, sexual masks, emotional masks. Nearly every character is hiding something. At its core, Eyes Wide Shut is about power. The wealthy elite move through secret spaces, untouched by consequences. Meanwhile, ordinary people drift through confusion, temptation, jealousy, and insecurity. The film feels like Kubrick's final statement on modern civilization, a world driven by hidden desires, hidden systems, hidden power. Stanley Kubrick's films endure because they refuse to comfort us. They challenge us, disturb us, force us to confront parts of humanity we would rather ignore. Violence, technology, war, desire, power, and civilization itself. Kubrick understood something few filmmakers ever truly capture. Human beings are fragile, easily manipulated, easily conditioned, and easily consumed by the systems they create. And yet his films remain endlessly fascinating because they never fully explain themselves. Like dreams, they stay with us. Maybe that's why Stanley Kubrick still matters. His films are not simply watched, they are experienced. And decades later, we are still trying to decode them. That's what I love about Stanley Kubrick. I love the mystery. I love that his films seem to absorb me while I'm watching them. Before we go, I'd like to leave you with one final Stanley Kubrick quote about filmmaking that I thought was pretty inspirational. "The best education in film is to make one." Stanley Kubrick. This is Ryan with Camp Films, and I hope you've enjoyed this video essay on the work of Stanley Kubrick. I hope you'll take the time to check out more of my videos in the Director's Way series here on the channel, and be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And in the comments below, be sure to leave the hashtag Stanley so I'll know who my most dedicated viewers are. If you want more Camp Films, I just released my very first full online course with nearly 3 hours of training helping you make your very first no-budget film. Just follow the link in the description below to learn more. Thanks so much for coming along on this filmmaking journey with me. I am Ryan, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.